Hi YouTube, it is the summer of 2019 and there's been new updates on full face snorkeling mask design, and I just want to show you what's out in the market at the moment. You notice that it doesn't look very different from other full face masks, but the breathing, the way air goes inside and out of the mask has changed a lot. What's different is that if you look at the older masks, they have a breathing tube that has three sections. It's split into three in that there is one for air to come in and two for air to go back out. So what happens is you have air traveling through this chamber and then it covers the face, and then afterwards it passes through. You see that little filter here. It's not, it's actually a valve. It goes in here, and then the air, instead of being expelled out, actually goes back up the mask and out through the tube again. So what people didn't like about it is that there's way too much space. There's way too much air to exhale. That means you have to breathe out very strongly to get to push all the carbon dioxide out. And if there's way too much room, there's possibility that you might end up breathing the carbon dioxide back in. Whereas this design is, it's a single tube, and it's only dedicated for air to go straight in into this chamber. Then you breathe in, right? And then when you breathe out, it goes directly out into the water right here. It doesn't go traveling through your face mask again and then back out, right? So it's very similar to my snorkeling tube that I used to use. So you see classic snorkeling tubes actually doesn't have this bit. What it is imagine this is like this. Air goes in, and then when you breathe out, air goes back out in the same direction. And since this volume is actually considered quite small, you could actually push all the air out quite easily. So it's safe. If this was happened to be a very fat tube, pushing air out, imagine this is like a huge fat tube. If you push air out, it might stay in here, and then you're breathing the same carbon dioxide back in. Whereas here, this is actually much more clever in that when you breathe out, the air just goes through here, expels out, and you're just clearing it. So there's always fresh oxygen coming through this at all times. And so this design is, in a way, it's very similar to this. Notice that, yeah, the chamber here, let's get these straps out of the way. Let me just unbuckle these. So you could just snap these off just like that. The chamber here is quite small. They kept it small, and this is where the oxygen is much bigger. So that you ensure that, just like the design of the air tube, to ensure as less space as possible, so you could expel all the carbon dioxide out. So your head goes through like this, and then when you remove it, you don't pull out, because obviously this is resisting. You actually have to lift up and then out again. So this is what happens when you panic. You try to remove it like this, and you're stuck with this, and this is full of carbon dioxide, and you can see how this is a very dangerous situation. So this is designed in a way it's to minimize that. So what else is new about this? This tube is actually extra long, so that you could go just a few inches deeper than usual. And also when you're lifting up, when you're coming up the water, when this gets dipped into the water, the metal ball actually pushes the stopper, so the water doesn't go back into the mask. So here you see there's a floater here. When you go underwater, the floater goes up, stops the valve. That's normal. But this extra metal ball here is when you're going up and you don't get extra water going in. So that's a very clever design. Another difference is that for those who don't use GoPro, you could take this off and remove that attachment, so it's less complicated. There's less pieces involved. And so, yeah, let me just show you how this goes together. So this just locks in. There's two arrows here. That snaps together. Yep, that's it. And then this, you see these two buttons. It's actually just a release, and then you just push it in. That's it. And then this thing can rotate. So in case you need to swim to the side, you're swimming to the side, you just spin this, and so you could swim to the side, and then you could face back down. You could turn this to face that way. All right, hope you enjoy this preview, this review. If you have any questions, comments, just leave in the comment box below. If you'd like to see more of these reviews, just like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.